morning, good evening, where the case may be, and welcome back to Jed's World. Hope you're having a great day and enjoying yourself. Oh, yeah. For those of y'all listening in on the YouTube channel, welcome. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that little thumbs up button and share it with your friends. Now, the reason why I bring that up is because I've noticed that a lot of people that have been tuning into the radio show at a later date have been doing it mostly through the YouTube, or if they're not tuned in live. Now, this is a pre-recording, so we'll be airing on the radio side a little later on today. Now we got all that wonderful crap out of the way. Are you having a great week? We are just one day away from the weekend in so many hours. But that also just depends on what kind of work week you work. Now, for those of y'all that have been following the radio show for quite some time, you know it's a little bit different from my YouTube videos and the content I produce on there, or even the podcast. It's more or less an opportunity about once a week or so for me to sit back, take a deep breath, and take in everything that went in and going on throughout the week. It's a time of reflection, if you will, and looking at what's going on in the week to come. We're going to be starting to do more and more of these type shows as time progresses. Now, I want to send out a warm welcome and thank you to all the supporters that have been tuning in and tuning with all the wonderful emails throughout the week. And your show's topics will be addressed on Table Talk this weekend. Don't worry, I'm taking notes, making a little arrangements, and then I'll talk to Anita a little bit later on and let her know what's in store for the show. But now, what's going on right now, if I can focus without the noise. Alright. Have you all noticed, how many of y'all have been paying attention to the Johnny Depp trial? Or whatever you want to call it. I mean, it's completely, absolutely insane. And did you see the little part, when was it, yesterday or the day before, that that Amber chick, or whatever her name is, she's wanting a mistrial? I mean, really. I'm not saying that, he's completely innocent. 9 times out of 10, he probably isn't. I'm sure there's been some bad blood both ways. But so far in the trial, who's coming off across being more crazy? Johnny Depp or her? I say her. Comment below or drop the station an email and let me know what your thoughts are. Now, we talked a little bit off the air with a few people about what was going on here locally as well. Now, just the other day, I even addressed a little bit of it in the video on movie stars are just like the rest of us. Here locally, we found a body in somebody's property in between their storage shed and their home that was decomposed to the point to where they couldn't identify if it was a man or woman. Now, considering the timeline, considering the only reason why it was found when it was found was the owner of the house was doing some stuff in his storage shed, rearranging or what have you, and he smelled the odor. Now, I'm more or less to be thinking along the lines of that had to have been a homeless person that was looking for shelter during the winter at some point in time. Something happened, and he passed away in between there sleeping overnight or something. I don't know. Because the report also says there doesn't seem to be any signs of foul doing. Or no, he wasn't beaten to death or anything like that. But here's my thing. Okay, you're a homeowner. Granted, you're probably not going to be doing a whole lot of stuff during the winter, but here it is. What's it? First week of May. You're just now noticing the smell. Well, you're just now going out there to the shed. I don't know. It's I'm telling you, here locally, there's a lot of strange people walking around these streets. And some of the things they do or don't do is mind-blowing, to tell you the truth. I'm getting tongued out here. Oh man, oh man, oh man! What a wonderful show! It's a Thursday after all. You know what? Thursdays usually meant during the club days. Thirsty Thursday, drink all you can drink. So, what I would advise you, and if you don't head to work tomorrow, especially, pop the top off of your favorite little beverage at the end of your work day today, and get back, relax, and have some fun. Now, if you're a second-life citizen, don't forget to hit me up with an IM every now and then. If there's anything you want me to discuss on Table Talk, or the radio show, or the podcast as well, I will definitely take it into consideration. All you have to do, if you drop me an email as far as that's concerned, make sure you put it in the title, Show Topics. Then give me a brief description of the topic you want me to investigate, and then I will give it some consideration. And if you want to be a part of the show, that possibly can be arranged as well. Depends on the timeline and all that. Now, the original goal of Table Talk was to get people to be more interactive. You are watching the Table Talk episodes, and I greatly appreciate that. So far, as far as the YouTube content is concerned, it's been the most popular content that we're putting out there. So definitely loving that. Now, and we're not going to sit there and limit ourselves to what kind of topics we're going to be talking on Table Talk. It can span from anything SO related to anything you might want to talk to within reasons on keeping it PG in the real world as well. Just don't come in and start throwing around a bunch of cuss words or anything like that, and we'll be fine. I originally wanted to kind of develop the platform to be something like when I was sitting there working in the clubs. You had people coming in throughout the show, interacting with the crowd, and so forth and so on. I want that same kind of format on Table Talk. So, once again, y'all are more than welcome to stop by the studio at any given time when we're on air. Now, I want to talk to y'all a little bit about a couple of things that are going on here locally sports-wise. My Kentucky Wildcats the off-season has really been kind of bizarre in regard where it was one of the Kentucky's assistant coaches left the Kentucky staff to go to Duke. Now, anybody here locally knows what the deal is about Duke here. I mean, they are our number one recruiting rivals on the circuit. I mean, it's always in the top recruiting classes. It's usually Duke number one, Kentucky number two, or Kentucky number one, Duke number two. I mean, we're always battling for the top players out there in the country. And here lately, Duke has been winning that battle. So now it's going to be kind of hard, make it even harder to compete with them now that they got our star recruiter. It is what it is. Calipari doesn't really. How can I put this? I'm not happy with what Calipari's been doing lately, and then we'll just leave it at that. We're also losing players transferring out. Keon Brooks transferred out. But thank goodness that Oscar Tshiebwe's coming back for his senior year. Yeah, it's then you got over here just up the road a little bit, the Louisville Cardinals. They just hired a brand new head coach who was on for the longest time on our coaching staff as well, and Kenny Payne. He's going to be doing an outstanding job. Now, he's going into his first year out there at Louisville this upcoming season. Give him a couple years, and we're going to have to worry about Louisville as well. So we're going to sit there and be battling with Louisville and Duke. It's nuts to sit there and make you want to pull your hair out, I'm telling you. And lastly, on the sports front, now I was kind of hoping that my Cincinnati Reds would at least play 500 ball this season the way they were blowing things up. They were trading off players left and right. The core of last year's team that almost made the playoffs, they basically disbanded. I don't understand that. But that's usually for the past 12, 13 years especially. It's been the Reds. That's how they always been doing shit. We haven't won a championship since 1990. Oh, man. And, well, going into today's day, with all the baseball games tip off, starting about another hour or so, they've only won 3 games all season this year. So, yeah, this summer's going to be a long, long summer for me in that regard. You'll probably hear me on the radio a lot more often because as the Reds are sucking, there's really not much else to do. Oh, man. All right. Now, another little reminder, because I know it's been a while since I did any blogging, but the last 2 videos I put out, I did a little blog post to go along with it. So go to the website or the Facebook. And the website's jackbatson.com and read the blog if you want to, along with watching the latest video that was put out there as well. Movie stars are just like us. Let's see, is there anything else? Well, I can't really think of too much. I mean, other than if you're a Second Life citizen, get out there and explore. That also reminds me, now that I just think about it. I'm glad to see some of you all are going out there and you're exploring more. I applaud that. I've been trying to tell you all for the past few years to get out there and explore more. But now I got a new challenge for you. Alright? How about us not going to explore the stuff that are on the, hot spots in Second Life, basically. But how about going and exploring some of the more obscure places? Places that people are not really talking about, and they're not popping up on the destination list. I mean, we got a lot of small creators out there that do an outstanding job on their Sims and let their imaginations really run wild with them. And they bring in a lot of talent in what they do. But yet they're not really getting noticed all that much because the people that do explore are only going to the destination guide instead of just going out there and branching out to something new. That's just my personal opinion on the whole matter. Anyway, I think we'll get ready to close up on that little note. Now, don't forget, if you're tuning in to the radio show or watching the YouTube videos for the first time, welcome to Chat's World. Subscribe if you're so inclined. Hit that like button and share with your friends. I'll catch you all on the little other side of the grid. Y'all have a great day and stay safe out there. Oh, yeah.